What's up, everybody? It's Ethan, and today I want to talk about the biggest thing I've learned from facing a brain cancer diagnosis. When I was first diagnosed, I was told by the doctors that this was going to be something I was going to be dealing with for the rest of my life. It would very likely be the thing that would end my life. Certainly, that's not always the case for everyone who deals with brain cancer, and I'm hoping it won't be the case for me, and I'm doing everything I can to make sure it isn't. But that recognition that this is an ongoing disease and there's moments of acute treatment. Just after my diagnosis, I went into surgery, I did chemo, I did radiation. Then I went into a period where I've just been maintaining my health through diet, through exercise, through therapy, through living in love and engaging in this project with you. But there's always been this interesting reflection and this learning that's come up through reflecting with people. They see me, and when I was first diagnosed, they really, I could see their compassion, their reflection. I would tell them my news, and I could see their love for me. It was in their actions, it was in their facial expressions, it was in their questions, their concern. And that was so real and felt so real. And I could also, as an empathetic and compassionate person, see that they were dealing with their own mortality in that moment. They were struggling with what this meant for them and the fact that life isn't promised and you could face a cancer diagnosis at 33 or even younger, in many cases much younger. And over time, as I healed from the acute treatment and got to the state where I am today, where I'm quite healthy, people would come to me and say, "Hey man, how you doing? Like, you look great. You're good now, right? Like, you're healthy. It's gone, right?" And the challenge about talking about brain cancer for me is that it's never really gone. This is something I'm going to be taking drugs for and thinking about and dealing with for the rest of my life. And in fact, 5 weeks ago, I got a scan, an MRI, which I usually get every 6 months, and there was some concern. The doctor thought maybe there was a tumor growing. And so he had me come back 4 weeks later. We realized there was no tumor growing. It was a false alarm. But over that period of 4 weeks, we were freaking out. It was like, oh, am I gonna have to go back into that acute care? Am I gonna see this tumor come back with a vengeance and kill me? What are we gonna have to do as a family with my partner, my family, my close friends to rally, to survive, to thrive? And if not, what do I have to do to face mortality and be healthy and okay with that? And in sharing that news, once again, I was reminded by that care and that love that's around me in my community, and also how each individual has a different, uncomfortable, but real relationship to their own mortality. And it's never easy to talk about, and it always shows up in different ways. But whenever we talk to someone who's going through disease process, who's sick, or maybe someone who's dying, or someone who's lost a loved one, it's just hard. It's hard to know how to talk about it, how to deal with it. I struggle with it as much as everyone else. It's not easy to know what the words are, what the right thing to say is, what to do. Are you good now, right? Like, there's this expectation of us being better. But as humans, especially dealing with chronic or long-term disease, this is a state of being, and this is something that we have to adjust our lives to. It's not something that's ever necessarily going to be fully gone. And so that question reflects back this kind of desire for things to be all good, for death no longer to be a worry, for us to be cool and to be able to live and just not have to worry about it. We're immortal. Yeah, all is solved. And so this lesson that I've learned is when we share difficult news around disease and around mortality and around this question, not only is it something that prompts love and compassion from others, but it also immediately creates this response, this reflection of, oh my gosh, am I gonna die? Am I close to death? How does that feel? And it's extremely uncomfortable because we often aren't thinking about it. We're not facing it every day. It's not a concern, if we're healthy at least. It's not something that's top of mind. And so there's a lot to process as we start to go into it being more top of mind, mortality being more of a part of our daily reality. And it's something I've been thinking a lot about. It's something I'm actually building a new product and offering around, and I'm really excited about it. It's going to be called Camp Death, And it's literally going to be a summer camp later in this summer. And like summer camp, you go to summer camp and you come back and you're like a whole new person, right? You're transformed. And the goal of this project is to transform people and to go through this transformation of recognizing we're all mortal, but building a relationship with that mortality that's comfortable and that's maybe even celebratory and deepens life. You know, you come back from summer camp and it's like you're able to just like live in a completely different body, and you've learned so much and you've grown so much, and now you want to share that with your friends. And the hope is that Camp Death offers a little bit of that vibe around mortality and around facing death in a healthy way and moving through some of the lessons that I've learned without having to go through this awful diagnosis, and coming out the other side and able to be in communication with our mortality and have a healthy dynamic with it. So whether you're interested in Camp Death or not, I hope this video was helpful. If it was, post a comment. Do you relate? Do you find yourself checking in and facing the fear of your own death when you hear about someone else getting sick or someone else dying or someone else facing death in a meaningful way? How does that vibe with you? Even with me, maybe you have a relationship with me. I'd love to see in the comments what you think, how this video resonates. If you're interested in Camp Death, please stay tuned. We'll be posting more videos about it in the coming weeks. And if you're not, I hope this is still relevant and interesting to you, and appreciate you being here regardless. If you want to learn more, be on the newsletters and hear about our clubhouse rooms and everything else going on, go to extremist.love and you can subscribe to the newsletter. And as usual, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you showing your love and your attention through this process of engaging with these videos and watching them. And I hope that this lesson that I've learned in dealing with this diagnosis helps you and supports you as you connect with your own health or challenges with health and mortality in general. Sending love. Take care. Have a great week.